Hi, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Scribble and Ditz, the show where I draw things and Kyle watches.
That's all I do.
No, you do more stuff too.
Gee, I put the list together, thanks.
So if you're not familiar with the show, basically the premise is that Kyle here will give me a prompt. It can be anything really, and then I have to draw it to my best of my abilities. And I figured since we did just get the Batman trailer.
No, and it's not to say the Batman trailer. It's the Batman. That's the title. So it'd be the Batman trailer is what we should say.
The Batman trailer. Since the trailer for The Batman came out, and now Batman is on everybody's minds for the most part, we thought, what better way to return to the show than with knockoff Batman villains?
That's right. One of my favorite things is going to is seeing like when they have to do something to avoid copyright, but it's very clearly exactly the thing you expect it is. The classic example of Robert Cop.
What?
You haven't seen Robert Cop?
No.
It's like it's a toy knockoff. It's a toy knockoff of RoboCop. I thought that was the famous example that everyone would get right away.
I may just be living under a rock because I've never heard of Robert Cop. All right, so anyway, back on topic. Kyle here has written out a list of Batman villains, and we have two 20-sided die. I don't know why we need two, but in case we want to mash two together, that could be something.
If we drop one, we don't have to pick up.
One of us will roll, and depending on the number that coincides with the villain, we will have to come up with a knockoff version of that villain.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Would you like to roll the die?
I would, very much so. All right, so that's 3.
And it's a number 3.
Do we get a plus modifier for anything for a dexterity roller or a D&D? Never mind.
So you got 3.
Yes. Okay. Which is This is 100%. Legitimately what happened. I didn't plan this. It's the Riddler.
Okay.
Who is not only relevant because he's on our minds because of the trailer, but also my favorite Batman villain.
Perfect.
So this was destiny.
All right. So I've had some time to think about.
Good. Because I think I've pondered what a Riddler-esque villain might be as well. And so I think the thing is, obviously it can't be riddles. But it must be something. He must build his identity around some sort of conundrum. Is that going to be the
I was hoping you weren't aware of it.
I super know that meme, yeah. I literally, like 5 seconds before we started recording, saw Star Wars one of it.
I'm thinking he could maybe be called Hypothetical Man.
Hypothetical Man?
And he's like, hypothetically, what if we pushed our Minecraft bets together in the Batcave?
He's just really timid, and he doesn't want to pose a question with a lot of like, he doesn't want to really put it out there. He wants room to backtrack in case it goes poorly. The absolute opposite of Riddler, because Riddler may be very confident in his own intelligence. He knows he's the smartest guy in a room and wants to make fun of the fact that he knows it. So this Riddler, this guy's like, I really hope that I don't sound weird putting this out there.
Okay, what do you think of Hypothetical Man?
Hypothetical Man. I, hypothetically speaking, quite like it.
Excellent.
My thoughts on a Riddler kind of offshoot would be, you remember when you were a kid and they would be like, oh, would you do this thing? No. Would you if the world depended on it? And you go, well, sure, yeah. My thoughts on a Riddler's villain would be he puts the world in jeopardy to get Batman to like eat a worm. Because the world depends on it, and Batman's like, okay, and he eats it, and he goes, he got me.
Okay, is that still Hypothetical Man?
That could be, that's completely separate, I guess, at this point.
No, it's the same guy.
He's very timidly like, would you
eat a worm?
And Batman's like, no.
What if I had someone at gunpoint?
How would it work out if, maybe. I'm not saying we do it. I'm just saying it went in. Riddler never actually does any crimes. The hypothetical man never actually does any crimes.
Okay.
He just keeps bugging Batman with letters that he publishes in like the paper or something. It's just instead of question marks, it's just a all over it. Excuse me. If if I were to ask you a series of questions, would it be too much trouble to
Ooh.
That's a whole separate thing.
You're right. No, he tried to write it, but he wasn't confident enough to keep it, so he scraped it out.
He's so timid. He has such little confidence. I can't help but feel like really endeared towards him. He's almost cute. Like, aww. Like everyone in Gotham PD absolutely is. They're
like, oh, we feel bad for you. Here's the bank. Here's the code to the vault.
Yeah, well, they've said no. Again, he never commits a crime. He's just very, very nervous about the fact that he's thinking about it, and he wants to kind of get feelers out there. He's the kind of guy who, like in high school, would be like he tried to kind of get a lock 100% sure opinion on whether a girl liked him before he would ask her out.
He finishes every single sentence with lol JK. Like,
yeah, anything he can possibly do to be able to backpedal out of a situation. That's the hypothetical man.
Okay, I'm happy with the hypothetical man.
Too.
Are you ready for the next one?
I like it.
Okay. Hear me out.
I have a stupid idea too, so we'll take it in turns. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
What about Jazz Al Gore?
If nothing else, just Jazz Al Ghul is great.
Oh, I wrote Jazz Al Gore. I was thinking like a very jazzy Al Gore, but Jazz Al Ghul is also pretty.
Jazz Al Ghul. Easy. The direction I was going in, and I'm glad. Thank you. This is better. I was going off of Al, so Raz Al Borland from Home Improvement.
Why were we both going for Al, like Al Gore and Al Borland?
Because that's just a guy's name. Raz Al Ghul or Raish Al Ghul or whatever pronunciation you want to do sounds so mystical and otherworldly, but the word Al is in there. Wait,
Raz.
No? We saved Jazz, a jazz pun for a different villain that I have written down here.
You're right.
We got saved.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's too easy. This was out of nowhere.
This was beautiful. We can always just skip.
Who cares about Zaz?
Yeah,
Who cares?
Victor Jazz was going to be all we were going to be able to do with that. Okay, we throw him in, Jazz Al Ghul and Victor Jazz, and they're a team.
And is it a K or is it a C?
Probably.
Sure.
This version, well, it doesn't matter what it actually is. We're making our own thing here. When I wrote it down, I didn't know how to spell Zaz, so I actually did just write it Z-A-Z-Z, like jazz but with a Z. So, have you seen the video of It's When Mom's Away, and it's the dad with the trombone and the kid slamming the oven door?
Yes.
I'm picturing them, but they're supervillains. So it's him. It's Jazz Al Ghul with the trombone and Victor Jazz clanking the oven door.
All right.
I was about to say, if you're doing a trombone, you're about to run out of space, but a trumpet just works right there.
I don't know if this is his hair.
That's close enough. I'm picturing him from Under the Red Hood, and that's pretty close. I think he's got more on his back, but that's pretty close, if nothing else.
All right.
This is a hasty doodle. It hardly
hasty doodle.
To be. His name is Jazz Al Ghul. No one's gonna be in the comments like, actually, that's not his hairstyle.
Oh, everybody will be. You don't know my audience.
That's true. I don't
know my audience. Oh yeah, and then Victor Jazz.
Instead of all the markings on him with the tally marks, exactly. It's gonna be music notes. So mean and happy that he gets to play the trombone or whatever. Exactly, that's exactly it. I thought you were drawing the money symbol for a second.
It's all about the money.
That's what jazz is all about.
He seems like a standing bass player. Do. Okay, this is.
So they just commit crimes against jazz?
No, they just play jazz at a crime scene.
They play in places you don't have a permit to play in.
Oh my god!
So Batman has to beat them up because they can't.
Jazz Al Ghul and Victor Jazz in the Jazzer's pit.
Thank God you thought of that, because that was gonna be the thing that I would have thought of 3 weeks from now in the shower, and it would have been like, gosh, darn it! I would have called you and been like, Cody, the Jazzer's pit, and we would have kicked ourselves. Oh, thank goodness you thought of the Jazzer's pit.
Oh, we struck gold, boys. I can't even speak. All right, Jazz Al Ghul and Victor Jazz. We maybe just topped the episode already. This is the peak. This was the finale, and we didn't even know it.
I just put it on the end.
Oh.
We're done.
Are we done? Are we leaving?
14 minutes. That's the episode.
This is part 1.
Part 1 and 2. Come back next week.
Are you okay?
Come back next week where we're not going to top. Come back next week where we're not going to top this.
Cheers. Do we need a break?
I guess just calm down, because we can't go into if we edit this and put it at the end for the finale, we can't come into the next one going. So we got to come.
Oh, we can.
Ah.
This is stupid.